Hello and welcome to a game of Dota 2. You're watching StarSeries and this is day 19. And we're gonna see 5 games today, already one behind us, and this is game number 2 of 5. And for this one, I will not be by myself. Rejoice, people. With me is Capitalist. Capitalist, welcome back.
Thanks for having me, Sheber. I just want to apologize I didn't make it this morning.
No,
I wasn't
that's okay.
Actually at work.
And I know, I told everybody.
Honest.
I told everybody and they were very understanding. And I understand that too, because you normally...
No, I wasn't at work.
You wasn't at work? Oh, what?
No,
What's your excuse?
I was so, just from working the night shift and being up for like 36 hours, I was so out of it this morning that when I woke up, I think I was on my phone. When I sent that on Skype, I was like, yeah, I'll get up, and I just immediately passed out. So I'm sorry about that.
Oh, it happens.
And I missed a barn burner of a game. What the hell?
It was... Yeah, it was a good game. It was a slow game. And I had a cold, and I can't believe I missed that last fight. I mean, it was the most anticlimactic ending ever. Ever that I've had in a game. Because of me just not seeing the end fight. Oh well. Fnatic aSpera, the team that has caused some, well, ruckus after beating Na'Vi, of course, and then yesterday a bit underperforming. We'll see how they do against Fnatic here. Fnatic, who has not been doing that well in StarSeries so far. They've lost 5 games, won 4 out of the 9 games that they've played. aSpera, actually, in terms of scores, are not doing that bad. They're on par with Fnatic. They are also 4 on 5 with 9 games played, so one of the two is going to get ahead. And we already got IO Bat banned out, OD Weaver banned out, a Batten tree still in the pool, which is normally something that you see with a Weaver and OD, but oh well. So not going to get picked up. And we have Nature's Prophet, Shadow Fiend, and 2 mids banned out for Fnatic, the Storm and the Puck. So what do you think of this matchup so far? What do you expect from this? Considering, like, Fnatic and aSpera.
Yeah, you know, you normally, especially with both of these teams, actually, you're usually expecting a little bit interesting things happening in the drafting, but so far it's pretty standard. Fnatic has some of the top 2 supports, Visage especially, Bane, heavy control, incredibly good versus Lifestealer. Whether it's in lane, if you're able to get that Enfeeble out, and then also later on, your ultimate being able to go through Rage is very important as well. However, Team aSpera has a lot of disables of their own, now picking up the Doom as Fnatic picked up the Timbersaw, which can completely counter him out. He's not a hero. He may even have to consider an early Lincoln Sphere on Timbersaw, which is not a very normal pickup, just because this Doom is absolutely going to wreck him, and Timbersaw is usually a hero. He's one of those cores that you rely heavily upon. When you do pick him up, you usually want him, he needs to make a large impact onto the game. Otherwise, it's just 4v5 from there. Unless he goes into his laning phase, he wins his lane, and he goes into the mid game and just dominates, either moves around, gets a bunch of kills, or at the very least puts a lot of pressure on the enemy team for a hard carry to farm up. You're going to see Team aSpera just be able to, 5-man through everything, and Fnatic's not going to have any room to farm. So Timbersaw is going to have a really hard time this game against that Doom. He's also got some other, Rubik being able to telekinesis, hard stun coming out from there. Also the Darkseer with that Surge being able to help others pursue Timbersaw. He's not going to have Easy's game by far, but if he doesn't get those, if he's not disabled, then he's going to be able to hopefully shut down the Lifestealer when Rage is down, but especially the Doom. If Doom does not have his ultimate, he's going to be a squishy hero for Timbersaw to pick up.
Yeah, by the way, could you check if you have your microphone turned on in the game? This time we mentioned it earlier, so it's cool.
Sweet.
Sorry, people in Dota TV. I actually also forgot it earlier in the previous game, so shame on us. Anti-Mage for Fnatic, for Era. I was gonna say, like, actually, Doom versus Anti-Mage is gonna be going in the favor of Doom as well, because you can't blink, so it's I'm not sure why they picked the Anti-Mage, but they probably have a reason. At least now Doom has to choose which one he disables, either Anti-Mage or Timbersaw. But one of the things I like about aSpera thus far, and aSpera usually runs the Doom on the offlane with, well, Inquisitor used to play the offlane, but I think they've swapped roles. But they already have got 2 cores, and I think we're still looking at a new mid-hero to come up as well. And so far, the 2 cores of aSpera outshine both of the cores of Fnatic quite hard already. So there's a lot of pressure right now on the supports of Fnatic, I think, and a Visage and a Bane picked up so early. I mean, It's nice. It's nice that you can fiend script that lifestealer, but it's also not really the support that you would look to dominate an early game with. So I think if Fnatic is not able to hold their game together in the early stages of this game on all lanes, they're gonna have such a tough time to get back on top of this. And oh my god, we are gonna have a Doom, Darkseer, or Lifestealer on the mid lane. Who are we gonna have mid? Doom mid?
Doom mid, Rubik Lifestealer, safe lane with the Enchantress in the jungle. This, I wasn't expecting this, mainly because this is presumably going to be a Timbersaw mid, and unless they pick up some sort of mid that they really want. Puck is down, so I really don't see. That would be the one hero that I would be willing to throw Timbersaw in the offlane for, is to pick up a Puck, because the control, the silence brought by Puck would be incredibly important. It gives Timbersaw that opportunity to get in there and do some serious damage before he either gets doomed out or Lifestealer pops his rage. So, well, this is going to be an aggressive tri-lane, actually. So it's going to be Razor Bane, that combo, we've seen it before, the sleep, into a damage steal, follow up with a couple of auto attacks, and then Visage is going to be able to burst that hero down with his nuke. This, I think this is smart. It's putting a lot of pressure on aSpera. They know that with the jungler, especially with the Bane Razor combo, less heroes around the better. You're just able to isolate one hero, start tapping away his damage. It forces the other hero to wake him up, and then you start chasing. It's just a really hard combo to deal with when you don't have multiple supports in lane. So Enchantress is really going to have to keep an eye on this lane. He's going to have to rotate in early, really early, because of just the threat of this lane. It's also really going to shut down Lifestealer's farm. Even if they don't get a kill here, they're really going to shut down his farm. God forbid they get... Now, it's probably going to sleep level 1, but if they just want to really focus on control early on, he could get Enfeeble, and Razor can steal his damage with Static Link, and that Lifestealer is going to be extremely sad.
Yeah, that's going to be one of the most annoying links that you can think of as a Lifestealer. At least... I mean, you don't die, but you can't really do anything. It's going to be really tough for them if indeed that's going to be the case. Let's see who's playing what and who is going exactly where, as I think you already kind of explained it correctly, as we already see the movement slightly there for Fnatic. We have got Hani, he'll play the Razor. Looks like he'll actually take on the mid lane for now, but we'll see if he is sticking around there. I mean, they have swapped their roles, of course, back again, so Hani will take on the mid lane normally. And that means we're going to see Fly actually playing the Visage. He'll have the familiars controlled by a No-Tail, who will play the Bane. Era will play his signature Lifestealer, or not Lifestealer, Anti-Mage, his other signature hero, that is. He's got two. And then last but not least, it is... Well, I'm gonna assume this is Trixie. But it is Ibn with the smiley face. But I'm thinking it's Trixie still on the Timbersaw. We've seen it before on the Timbersaw, so we are gonna actually have a safe lane. And then a safe tri-lane, rather, for Era. And then a suicide Timbersaw up against a Lifestealer. Interesting.
Yeah, this is... So they switched it up. While the aggressive tri-lane would be really good at shutting down Lifestealer, Darkseer would be difficult one-on-one for Animation to be able to deal with, unless he was fed a lot of regen, because you would see Darkseer skip behind the tower, and it would make things really difficult. But was I supposed to go over the lineup for aSpera? Yeah. I'm sorry.
No, you don't have to say sorry. I would have asked you after you said that, like, you know, there's no specific order for that, or... something. So
it's going to be Sharfik on the Doom at mid. He's going to have a little bit of trouble going up against Razor. Actually, I didn't say that. He actually picked up Chain Lightning at level 1. So he's really lucky in that regards, picking up that Harpy early on. Shiloh, the stand-in, is going to be on that Darkseer. Meanwhile, Go Audio is the Enchantress roaming around in the jungle. Probably going to fully focus on that farm in jungle. Rubik by himself is going to be enough to shut down the Timbersaw. Rubik, who is Atse, and then at the bottom, finally, is I don't even know how to say that.
Inkvisitor.
I was Inkvisitor. All right,
Inkvisitor.
Cool. I was told it was some weird pronouncing, like Inquisitor.
Oh, but probably. I mean, it's Russian, so it's probably not pronounced the way that we do. But Inkvisitor sounds logical enough.
I like it. It sounds good.
Yeah,
it sounds good.
And they're gonna try to gank up on Timbersaw. In comes a slow. There's also telekinesis should they want it. There is a Timber chain though, level 1 only. Might be able to use it, but there's just not enough damage coming off, so I'm not quite sure what they were thinking. I do like that Fnatic completely controls the Radiant jungle, by the way. They have basically warded almost every camp there is, and Enchantress is having a tough time finding creeps. There's only one camp... Ugh. There's only one camp that she can get creeps from, apart from the small camp. Look what they got. Mud golems! Yay!
Nobody loves golems. Everybody. There's not a single hero that's like, mud golems? Alright.
Yeah.
So
I think Fnatic was happy about them though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And this is really smart because you looking at the supports of Timbersaw, or going up against Timbersaw, Rubik and Enchantress, all they do is physical damage, so that Enchantress is in the jungle to start out with. So Timbersaw feels safe enough that he can go forward in the lane and get experience early on. At the time Enchantress is ready to move in with a gank, he's going to be at least level 2, and that reactive armor is going to come into play. And since they don't have any nukes, all their damage is coming out from auto attacks. He's going to take a very limited amount of damage. So this is, I think, was a really smart play. When I originally saw it, I was just like automatically, oh, that's a Razor tri-lane. It's a really powerful tri-lane. But this is much, much better for their lanes. Very smart decision that they made.
And that tri-lane now on the top lane might actually get themselves a kill. Darkseer gets a soul assumption in the face. Fly with the first blood. Takes some harassment from the tower, but that's all worth it. We of course have no-till roaming around from the back of the tier 1 tower. But all worth it, and well, kill 1 on the board. You're on the way of Fnatic.
Yeah, I think Fnatic should have a really easy time in the mid game, and from there, because they already have advantage in the laning phase, aSpera is supposed to dominate the mid game, and that I don't think that is going to happen. Just with the way the lanes are going, Fnatic is winning every single lane essentially. Timbersaw is getting full experience, which is the most you can ask for an off lane. You're not expecting him to get a kill or anything like that. He may, even once he hits level 6, all of a sudden Timbersaw becomes actually very, very scary against supports. The top lane, they've honestly just picked up first blood on Darkseer. Darkseer, because of the fact that they warded the jungle so heavily, neither Enchantress nor Darkseer is able to utilize that, forcing Darkseer into a lane where they got that kill, and Doom is just getting destroyed in middle. All he's using is Chain Lightning in order to pick up kills, because Hani, every single time he comes into lane, he maxed out the static link. So they are absolutely dominating all the lanes, so Fnatic has complete control of this game right now.
Yeah, and this is exactly what was said during the draft. If they didn't have that control, they would be in a tough spot, but I mean they do, and they are looking good now for a while to come as well. Of course, aSpera, and I mean they still have a chance to come back, but they just have to do some damage control here, as Hani steals a lot of damage here from Sharfik. Sharfik, who's sitting on 12-0, Hani 28 for 16, so the difference is immense, and we have got a rotation of supports as well. The supports of aSpera, though, it is Goadio and Atsi. With an Illusion Rune and a Centaur, they might be able to do something. Hani, or the user self, though, is going to be sitting on full HP by the time they come around. But let's see if they're actually able to do something here. He's got a static link up, and he might just try to use it. Oh, he runs, and he is going to be fast enough away. Probably the right way. Nah, well, that was a failed gank. That was aSpera's movement, and that is still support level 3 Rubik, level 2 Enchantress. And they're up against supports that are, let's see, Visage is level 2 and No-Till level 4. So No-Till actually level ahead there, and slightly in favor of Fnatic all around in terms of levels on supports, which is going to be important. As you said, Timbersaw, he's going to kill those off if he reaches level 6 and he gets a chance. And again, can turn around.
Soon he's going to be a threat to lifesteal. The longer they leave him in lane, now you see Timbersaw is actually getting a level in Whirling Death. Now he can actually put in a little bit of pressure versus this lifestealer. Because Timber Chain is so easy to cast. It's such little mana cost. 70 mana for 140 damage is a huge. The mana cost to damage ratio is just so nice. So he can just spam this out.
Look at that.
Just like that.
Yeah, he's got a level 2 Timber Chain, but he's not going to try to go for it. But this is indeed exactly what you do not want to see. You're gonna have your Lifestealer safe laning, so you're expecting him to do really well. And I mean, even if now there were supports around him, I mean, how many times has, like in pubs most importantly, has there not been like ganks or attempted kills upon Timbersaw, where Timbersaw is just able to just turn it around, jumping back and forth with the amount of burst damage that he has. He can just come out of a gank and have a double kill and walk away unscratched. That's possible with this kind of Timbersaw. Very scary.
Yeah, this is And Doom couldn't even, like, go in and gank. He picked up a haste rune at bottom, but he's still not level 6. Hani right now is sitting at level 7 with a little extra experience. Sharfiq is just now hitting level 6 and getting his ultimate. So hopefully we're going to see a rotation soon from him with that haste. He may even need a TP scroll, because if he starts running to bottom, good chances are Hani's going to call that one out, since the haste rune has already been revealed, and they do have some vision down there in the bottom river area. So he may even need a TP gank to move immediately, because they're already, honestly, the lanes are already going terrible. He needs to put some pressure somewhere on Fnatic, whether that's shutting down the Animage or shutting down the Timbersaw, or even getting some of the supports to help him get a kill on middle. Either way, they need to make something happen soon.
Yeah, I fully agree. Sharfiq, well, he's got boots. That's about it, though. I mean, even with the Doom, who are you gonna try and gank? You can't gank the Timbersaw. I think that's a given. I mean, he will still be able to get away. He is, right now, he's level 7. He is actually higher level than the Doom. So that's a pretty big deal. Timbersaw should be able to get himself away. And then you look towards the top lane. No-Tail might be a good target. But he has a Nightmare, so he can try to run away afterwards. Era can blink himself away. In theory, I mean, you gotta Doom someone. And I think No-Tail might actually be a good target here. Might actually die. But we'll see. Sharfiq does use his bottle, gets a double damage shooter with the haste rune. He's actually moving back middle. He's not gonna try and go for something. They're gonna continue with this laning phase. Even though this laning phase is so not in favor of aSpera, they're gonna continue with it.
Yeah, well, I mean, now the double damage up on Doom. Again, I mean, he was rotating into the okay. I thought he was going to rotate into the enemy jungle, but his haste is running out. They just aren't really doing anything. Timbersaw is having the time of his life. Like, if I was this Timbersaw, I would just be loving my lane right now. The fact that you're not only getting full experience, but you're actually almost getting kills in this bottom lane. He's got 29 CS. For an offlaner, especially one like Timbersaw, who is a weaker offlaner, he's easier to gank than others like, you know, Clockwork or Windrunner or something like that. He's got to be extremely happy with this. He's getting a lot of farm. Already has his Arcane Boots. Arcane Boots are up plus another 600 gold. Animage is getting complete farm. He's right now sitting at the highest CS on the board, 63 and 20, which is followed up by Hani's 60 and 23. Yeah. He's actually farming up a hard camp right now. They stacked it up for him.
He's taking fairly low for it. Yeah, but that's actually very good. Of course, Visage is only level 3. He needs that for those familiars. Wait a second, Darkseer, Fiend Script killed off. Well, that's a first Fiend Script used, and successfully. And a first kill for Era as well. And a second, of course, second death for the Darkseer. Who, at this point, I mean, you already pointed out, he can't really rotate into the jungle. He's level 4. This Darkseer is not going to have that big of an impact. He's not going to have a very fast mechanism to help out his team in fights. And I'm thinking maybe even Sharfiq will be forced to get the mechanism for his team. Because right now, in terms of late game, they're not even looking that convincing anymore. Not with this early start that Fnatic has been given. And oh, in comes supports actually. aSpera wants to finally try and make something happen. Maybe kill off Fly. Fly sitting at level 3. In comes Gaudio first. We'll be getting a slow, but there's the net, there's a Doom. Wow. They spent a lot of effort to try and kill level 3 Visage. In comes the Timbersaw though. He's actually looking to make something happen with the regen rune. He's full of mana. They might try also have some help from the Razor. No, they back off in time. But a lot of effort for that level 3 Visage.
Yeah, that was a lot of resources thrown away for the lowest leveled hero on the enemy team. Really, really sad to see that. And just even the small things Fnatic is doing right. Like, the lane setup was beautiful. They very smartly picked the optimal lane setup, and they pretty much won all of their lanes. But even small things, like the fact that, nice escape. There.
Yeah, very. He's not out of the woods yet. Oh, pun intended, because he's walking in the woods. He's gonna get telekinesis by Etsy soon, hopefully for Etsy? No? There's your telekinesis. Standing in chakra might not be the best thing to do, though. And down goes a Rubik. Down goes also the Timbersaw. Hani comes in to try and help out, but he's taking a lot of damage. This might be something that Fnatic cannot afford. Wow. Okay, so there was an Etsy standing in a chakram who still went down, but in the end, they lose 2 core heroes. Of course, one of them is an offlaner, but he was still doing really well. But they lose their Razor, which is probably the biggest deal, mostly in terms of experience, because right now aSpera got themselves a lot of extra experience because of those kills. And they're actually ahead.
Yeah, that was a little silly. It fed the supports quite a bit. Enchantress is now level 7 off of that. She's gonna be really happy. But the biggest thing is that Animage is still free farming, and No Tail is actually getting a ton of experience because they're putting all of the experience on him as the support. It's why Fly was so underleveled, because he was actually sitting farther in the jungle and he was stacking camps, while No Tail was the one pulling constantly and getting that full experience from that. So that's the reason he was able to pick up level 6 so early. And that means just if aSpera attempts any sort of smoke gank underneath towers or anything like that, you're going to see a rapid rotation from No Tail teleporting in, and with the ultimate and the maxed out Brain Sap, he's going to be able to counter gank. And honestly, aSpera is going to have a really hard time shutting down any of these heroes without giving up a lot.
Yeah, they really have to hope for
another stack.
Another stack? What?
Yeah, they stacked up the medium camp. Animage is farming up that one. Razor came in and helped him out a little bit with a plasma field. But Era is getting huge now. He already had his Battle Fury before the 12-minute mark.
Yeah,
now has
insane.
another almost 1,000 gold.
I guess the only luck for aSpera is that he didn't have his treads yet, but he actually has enough gold to buy those right now, so if he wants to have them, which I'm gonna assume he does after these last hits. This is probably one of the more scary anti-mages that you could see. I mean, okay, so you're gonna be up against an Era anti-mage. You know that, you're gonna only put a Darkseer up against him, so you're aware that he is gonna get free farm. But you need to have a plan against that, and now they pick up a Hand of Midas for the Darkseer. I like this choice because he is very behind, and with the Hand of Midas, at least he might be able to catch up again if this game lasts long enough. But that's exactly the question. How long is this game gonna last? Because Era, with already having Battle Fury treads at 13 minutes in comes a Doom, by the way. Now that's gonna be Trixie staying alive. Fly might not be staying alive, though. In comes the Fiend Skip already used. Nightmare doesn't save No Tail. He tries to run as Sharfig actually now walking past as well. Timber Saw as Doom is almost running out. He wants to try and take down Sharfig. Here comes a Mana Void. Visage picks him off. Razor still killing off the Rubik, and all of a sudden the dive that happened coming out from aSpera works against them. Inquisitor missing 112 attack damage, and Hani uses that to take down the Enchantress. Inquisitor the only one alive here. Of course, Darkseer wasn't even there, and I think Inquisitor is not going to be staying alive much longer. Tries to eat himself up on Era. Forced to blink away. Is he actually going to be able to get away here? Chakram slowing him down again. No rage again for another 9 seconds. It's going to be enough. That's 4 dead. 4 for 0 in favor of Fnatic. By just diving a tier 1 tower that they shouldn't have. By just thinking they could take down a Timber Saw. The mistake that you can make. That is the most obvious one. Thinking you can take down a Timber Saw and then chasing him down and dying for it.
Yeah, I have a feeling this is going to be a very, very short game because Fnatic, they won the early laning phase. It's already showing that they're going to win the mid game. They're rotating well. They're not just sitting AFK farming and letting themselves get ganked. They're moving around. They know they have the advantage. They're taking these fights that aSpera wants to force and coming out on top. And they also have the late game. They also have the late game with the Animage, Razor. All those heroes are going to be very, very strong going into late game. While aSpera can actually stand up a little bit with a Lifestealer that has like AC Abyssal and Doombringer getting a lot of farm. But at this point, you need both of those heroes. The biggest thing is they have to have more farm than the enemy hard carries, and that's just not the case. In order to stand up against them, you're usually supposed to have a gold advantage, especially Doom, who is supposed to be using his Devourer sort of like a almost like an alchemist in the way that you constantly stay ahead in gold, and that's how you dominate as a carry. And that's just not going to be the case here. Timbersaw's going to come in, shut him down. There goes that Doom. He's actually going to get killed from this.
Yeah.
So, Timbersaw underestimating the cooldown.
I think so too. I think so too. Nice pickup for Sharfik though. He really needs those. He only got level 1 Devour, so that solid income is not even completely there. Hani actually. Oh, TP out. Smart choice. The one thing that you can do up against the Razor. But yeah, aSpera, I mean, in a tough spot, up against an anti-mage that has already been involved in fights. He's already been involved in 4 out of the 7 kills that his team has done. He's going for a Vlad, so also an item that says, you know what, I'm just gonna start fighting early on, and he definitely can. He just pushed the tier 1 tower a bit by himself. Just pushing. I mean, he's not even farming on the hard lane, because that's where supports are actually at. Supports. With supports, I mean, Fly getting some levels. He's level 6 right now, so he's got those familiars. So that's good for him. And aSpera, are they looking to try and fight again? Because I'm really not that sure that they should try to make it so obvious that they want to fight. They should go for those ganks, and they can't really fight them right now.
Yeah, I think aSpera is just kind of panicking right now. And Go Audio is going to get picked up.
underestimating warding from Fnatic. I mean, they have a ward. They saw him walking high ground. There's a lot of people there. You're gonna be dead then. No vision for aSpera at all. I mean, they've got some vision in the mid lane on the Roche pit, but that's it.
Yeah, it's really hard when you're in this sort of situation where you look at the draft, and I'm sure aSpera is making the same notifications where we're supposed to win the mid game and they're gonna take us late. We're so far behind already. How do we come back from this? And it's really hard to identify what exactly you can do. I'd say it's gonna go down. It looks like Hani should be able to pick that one up. Oh, nice surge.
Nice surge indeed. In comes Gawadio as well. But the tier 1 towers all picked off at Fnatic. They're making it clear that they want to take the map control. Sharping now in a lot of trouble. Already doomed up Hani, but it's just there's no damage. Who is doing the damage in this game? It should be the Lifestealer, but he just doesn't have enough. He has his armlet, but that's about it. Timbersaw going into the tier 2 tower. Down goes the Darkseer. Down goes the Rubik, and Gawadio tries to get himself out with a surge, but double kill for Fly. Only one hero left alive. That's Inquisitor. And he's already tried to run for his life to the tier 3 towers. I mean, this is Fnatic just dominating. They were still able to take out the Razor. That's great. Lifestealer able to come in from behind and making that happen, but it's still... It's not looking good. What do you think? Like, okay, we've agreed. Fnatic have got a very, very, very big chance to take this game. What should aSpera do to try and turn this around? There's always a chance in Dota.
Yeah, you're gonna have to probably 5-man smoke a couple times just to put Fnatic on the edge, and honestly, you're gonna have to take this later than you want to. That's your really only hope, is because Doom doesn't have anything, Lifestealer doesn't have anything. Your only hope is that Fnatic, with the assumption that, hey, we have an anti-mage, let's just continue to farm. If they smoke gank every once in a while and put Fnatic, you know, on the back foot a little bit, and keep them from taking map control, and then from there they just farm up, you know, for 15 minutes, and then try and force the fight. It's an uphill battle, but it's already an uphill battle at this point. It's even worse as this game goes on. If they're just going to continue to fight, continue to lose, and they're not going to pick up any new items, they have to try and pick up something. And it looks like they're going to spread out a little bit, get some farm. They just have to outmaneuver Fnatic. They just have to outmaneuver them wherever Fnatic is. They just have to be on the exact opposite part of the map, farming up, pushing in towers, trading as much as possible when it comes to tower kills. Those are the big things for aSpera right now, because even though they're supposed to, at this point in time, 20 minutes in, they're supposed to ideally be forcing a lot of fights, they just can't. They're too far behind right now.
Yeah, and I think they're taking a good-ish approach. They're gonna try and get some more core items up with taking the towers, taking out the tier 1 towers. They still have 2 standing, so the top one should be going down. We have got everybody at Fnatic. They have smoked up. They have moved into the Radiant jungle, but as we can see, they won't find anybody there. Well, they will find the tier 2 tower, which they probably can take down. I don't think that is a bad trade for aSpera to make, though, because they just need their gold. They just need their core gold, and they were already behind anyway, so why not get behind a little bit more? Split push-wise, however, Era, I mean, he is building towards a Manta style. If this game does go on longer, his split pushing with this Manta style can definitely not be underestimated. And actually, aSpera is sticking around on the top lane for a long time after that tower went down. I'm not quite sure why. Maybe they were waiting to force out some of the TPs, but we might just have Gawadio feeding himself because of that, but no. They're not gonna try and chase that. They're gonna continue
a little
farming.
bit too scared, not knowing where the Doom was. But if he had known what we knew, that could have been a really easy kill for him. Either way, though, Fnatic backing up. You got an Aghanim's now on Razor. An early Aghanim's like that usually means we're going to see a refresher. See that combo up, and that means they're going to have a lot better base cracking capabilities. Like before, all they have is just kind of split push. But once you get the refresher Ags, you just do so much damage to the team fight already that it's going to back aSpera up. They're going to win the team fight when you have that activated, and then from there you start focusing on the tower, and that Eye of Storm is just going to tear that apart. So they've set themselves up really, really well. aSpera, this is going to be a good opportunity. They really need to get a gank here while it's kind of a 4 push in from Fnatic with anti-mage farming. Or not.
Did you see that? Because Atsi, powerful Rubik, as Era is just, you know, going ham here because he can. But Atsi thinks, you know what, we're 3 here and Anti-Mage is 1, we can totally take this. So he blinks forward, blinks stolen from Anti-Mage, telekinesis the Anti-Mage. The moment that Era comes back to the ground, he Manta styles, attacks Rubik 3 times with this, or 2 times with his illusions, mana voids, Rubik dies. And nobody was there fast enough to try and do anything up against Era. That was kinda either miscommunication or just incredibly overconfident. I'm thinking a bit of both.
I think that was a miscommunication, and I think that was on Doom. Like, that should have been Doom pressing forward. The telekinesis should have given him enough time to hit his ultimate.
Yeah.
And that means no Manta, no nothing. They could just chase him down, get an easy kill on a very high level Animage, which would have been huge for Enchantress and for Rubik. Enchantress is going to be a big part of this game. She is going to have to, again, farm up, get that Aghanims or Mask of Madness. Honestly, Mask of Madness would probably be the better pickup here because you're going to be playing from your base a lot. And it's also a cheaper item that gives you practically the same amount of damage. You don't get the same distance, but you make up for it in attack speed. And just being able to get out high bursts of damage. Unfortunately, gonna go down.
Yeah, go audio. Again, I mean, we've seen this Fiend's grip up on him a lot, and I feel like he keeps getting caught out of position. He does have his entire team now trying to get revenge, but it's just too little too late. There's wards up here for Fnatic, they know exactly what's going on, they've got sentries all over. And the wards for aSpera right now, for this stage of the game, they might be a bit too overconfident that they can actually get there and be safe. But right now, I mean, their only safe place is in their base, and Fnatic is making sure that it's gonna keep that way. They are pushing back all lanes, having control of the Radiant jungle, and only giving aSpera what's coming into their lanes right now. Like the mid lane right now. We do still have the Aegis up, right? Yeah. For how long more? Oh, it's still 2 minutes or so, 1.5 minutes. We might have Fnatic going high ground with that, trying to at least. I think they're in a position, I mean, they're almost 20k gold ahead. It is only 23 minutes in, I mean, it's almost 1k gold per minute ahead for Fnatic. And I think going high ground might be a possibility here. Nice Familiars disables, in comes the Soul Assumption, go audio, already very low, already forced to pop his Nature's Attendance, and that is Hani with an Aghanims, and an Eye of the Storm, and a tier 3 tower, and it just is dropping so fast. What can aSpera do? They have to think of something, they have to do something.
Yeah, and this is, we don't even see the refresher up. Hani's building towards it, Oblivion Staff is up, but yeah, that tier 3 damage is taking way too much, and all it takes is a Manta Illusion to back him up.
Oh, Hani put in a Nightmare, was almost in some trouble, but no can do. In comes Anti-Mage, down goes the Darkseer. Era still getting stunned up, Telekinesis, they might actually take away the Aegis, yes they do. No till, he's got a Fiend's Grip again as long as he has some mana, which actually at the moment he doesn't. A Doom up on Timbersaw, he's already back up though. As in, the Doom is already gone, Tower will still go down, and it is only a Darkseer that died in that fight. Nobody else died, nobody died on the side of Fnatic. In comes a Fiend's Grip, up on Atsi, and Atsi already picked off. Now Doom will be next, Sharfik trying to make himself back to base. He has got a drum charge and doesn't need it, but his Rex no longer defended, and will end up going down. Fnatic, they are not planning to leave this base anytime soon. They've got the mechanism up. They've got Eye of the Storm up again soon. Actually, it's already up if they want it. And, I mean, this could actually be GG.
Yeah, it should be. Their biggest hope as aSpera was being able to defend with the Darkseer wall vacuum and allowing Enchantress to free up a lot of room to hit big Impetus hits. But that's just not going to be the case, and they're just going to pick off aSpera left and right. They can effectively shut them inside of their fountain. That's how ahead they are.
No Till 7 going down, Fountain helping out quite a bit there, but he buys back because he's just that rich. Fnatic actually playing a bit with their food, it seems like, because they could have rotated mid to try and take down Rex there, but they're just gonna Fountain farm. Sharvik will still go down. Buys back though. But no GG called just yet, so aSpera, they might still think they can take it. I mean, of course, they did take down the Aegis just now, so perhaps they think, like, you know, without an Aegis, we could have taken on Anti-Mage and we could have won that fight. But, we'll see next fight, and we'll see if there's indeed no Aegis there, because we might as well have Fnatic wait for another 4 minutes before that Aegis is up again, or 3 minutes rather.
Timbersaw looks like he went mid. Like his items,
yeah.
Travel, Bloodstone with 13 charges and a Hood of Defiance 26 minutes in. Huge. He is monstrous.
He has the same net worth as the Razor. I mean, that's something like, he was up against a semi-tri-lane, and I don't think anybody would believe that if he didn't see the start of the game.
Yeah, and honestly, like soon, Animage is gonna have 3 times the farm. Like he already hit twice the amount of farm that Lifestealer had early on.
Yeah.
He's still gonna have 3 times that, sitting at 20,000 net worth.
And they might be able to kill off the Timbersaw here, though. They find him, they doom him. Can he get himself out? I don't think so. If he does, though, that would be the showing of power for Fnatic. In comes the mechanism from Fly, slowing down Sharvik. They have to let him go. You are there with 5 heroes. Oh, in comes Arrow. Down goes Ati. Arrow just gonna go be a one-man army looking to take down aSpera on his own. Blinking forward, going for Guadio. Timbersaw back in this as well. Guadio already dead. Arrow with a double kill. And that's a GG call. And that is gonna be pretty damn painful. And indeed, the top 2 of Fnatic have the same amount of net worth as the total farm of aSpera. It's a suck. Fnatic, convincing fight up against a team that was able to beat Na'Vi on Monday. That happened.
Very, very dominating performance there by Fnatic.
Yep, fully agree. We are, of course, gonna have 3 more games today, I believe. Yep, I can count. Awesome. We're gonna have ourselves 4FC versus Dusa next. And looking forward to see if Dusa can give us some good Dota. It's been a while since we've seen 4FC. And by the way, if you want to see more of 4FC, they have got 5 games to play today. 2 group stage matches for We Play, and of course the Star Ladder match. So there's a lot of 4FC Dota today. But 4FC versus Dusa will come up next for Star Ladder Star Series. Game will start in a couple of seconds or minutes, since we already still are behind schedule. So stick around. We'll be right back with more Dota.